see spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Get yourself a serving, maybe two. Talking Bulls basketball is what we do. Get your garlic bread and your dish of the week on spaghetti and meatballs. Oh yeah, spaghetti and meatballs. Don't forget the Parmesan cheese.
Well, you've got some nerve showing up around here. I'm just kidding. We're glad to have you here at Spaghetti and Meatballs, Trevin and Johnsy. Hey, John.
Hello, Trevin.
How are you, buddy? Status quo for the season.
That's where I'm at. I know you and I texted last night, and we kind of said we got our trade rant out. We're done. We're focusing on moving forward and where this team is at.
Yes. So if you tuned in expecting hypothetical trades or potential trade candidates and breakdowns, not here.
Yeah, tune into Joe Rogan or something else.
Exactly. Get that somewhere else. We did our thing last week. We're going to focus on the team that we currently have and the players on the roster and just see where it takes us. Just going along for the ride.
Yep. You got any shout outs?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a unique one. Okay, so
I love it.
I tuned up the old 6-string guitar, hauled it on down to the open mic night down at Griffin's Pine in Morris, and I get up there and I'm
really?
Yeah, I really did.
Yeah.
So I get up there, and wouldn't you know it, everyone starts chanting spaghetti and meatballs, spaghetti and meatballs.
Did you play our opening theme?
Yep. So sure enough, I brought the house down. Everybody loved it. So
throw this beer everywhere.
Oh, it was a wild scene. I wish
that's awesome.
Somebody filmed it, but it's probably a good thing nobody did because it's pretty wild.
Yeah, man, that's funny. I can believe it.
Well, apparently we got some big fans in Morris. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's kind of a hotbed for us.
But they're there. Yeah.
So, I guess they had like a viewing party for us at the Rosati's over in Morris. I don't know, like if it was our season opener this year. I don't know. They had like a viewing party.
It was something about that. Yeah. It was big fans over there in Morris. So
what was the name of that place in Morris? And you don't. It was like a deli right off the 80 exit. It was like was it Sage's Deli? Like it was.
I don't know.
I'd have to ask Wong. Wong would know.
Well, Wong, if you're listening, check up on that for us.
Yeah. What a shout out. That was a good one.
Yeah. What about you? You got one?
No, you know what? I don't. I had one, but it was very similar. And I'll just give a little quick story. I'm in class again, as I am on Tuesday night. And, we're there for like 5 hours together. And we get like a little dinner break. We're just like bullshitting around. And the guy next to me, Mike, my bro from class, I'm like, hey, I'm listening to this other podcast called Bone Valley. A really good, like, true crime one if you have time. Great. So I'm like, hey,
I'm always looking for recommendations.
Oh, man, you listen to it and I'll text you. I'm going to send it to you after this.
Okay.
But I'm like, I'm listening to this great podcast. You listen to any podcast? He's like, just spaghetti and meatballs. And I was like,
strictly spaghetti and meatball diet.
Oh, yes. Love it.
Very nice.
We've been getting some, as usual, hate.
Yeah.
Do you have any of those that you want to throw out there?
Okay, well, nothing in particular that this guy sent us, but I think we've had him text or tweet before, spur of the moment.
Oh, God.
And, there was nothing in particular. It was just a lot of stuff he didn't like. Some of you may remember the last time we played the Spurs earlier in the season.
Yep.
We thought we could shake the hornet's nest and we had a clear shot out of there. We were wrong. We paid the consequences. And Clan, the Spurs fan, much respect, but spur of the moment did not like how we handled ourselves, and he let us know about it.
Yes, because I couldn't remember his name, and it's Clan the Spurs fan, and I'm gonna send him a message. Actually, he's like a friend of the show, really.
He is. I actually he's got a good take on the NBA and kind of sports in general. So
yeah, I really do. I'm trying to find like his last. It's been a while, so I'm like going through our mentions. Yes, Clan the Spurs fan. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, he's a good follow, but this other guy seems like just.
I wasn't sure that's what I like. I don't know if he was just razzing us or if he was really offended by what we did, but or if he was just standing up for his guy. Maybe he wants to be part of it. I don't know. But came at us.
I got one that was like, okay, it started off. It's like, have you ever seen that meme where it was like like a high school kid? He's like, they had us in the first half.
Yeah.
That's where I felt like this guy was going. Like, I'm like with him, and then he took like so okay. Yeah, so this is a tweet we got. It was the ghost of Kevin Duckworth. And I'm like, okay, like, we're playing the Blazers. We're EIU guys. I was like, all right.
Okay, it ties in.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, what do we got here? And he's like, Yusuf or not, so must have been today. Yusuf or not, it's going to be Dame time all the time tomorrow night. Then we're going to dip our balls in your mouth.
Wow, because I expect anytime we play the Trailblazers, I expect it to be Dame time. I expect that to happen.
One of my favorite players in the NBA.
For sure. And
I love him.
I wish that you got to hear more about him, but being out
in the Pacific Northwest, like
yeah, exactly. But so I'm respecting the whole time until
I'm like, okay, yeah, Yusuf or not, he's on top of the data. Game time. Like we all know, all day. And then I thought that was gonna be it. And he's like, and then this.
That reminds me, do you remember that one time in college? And I can't remember.
Where are you going with this?
Why can't I remember the guy's name? But he snuck into your RA's floor.
It was not my RA. It was
no. Correct.
His name, okay. So there's no confusion. His name was also John.
Oh, that's right. Not me.
Not
the one that you know and love.
He had an H, and if
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I incorrect in thinking that like he had a thing for like larger ladies too?
Oh, he did. He definitely
I believe he also gave I can't remember their guy's name, if it was like Brendan or something, or RA, a Roman soldier. Isn't that what it's called? Like
that could have been it. I thought it was a mushroom stamp, but same idea.
So I don't know. I don't want to get into.
Plus, he swallowed a live goldfish one time.
So Thomas Hall North Floor 2.
Yeah.
No, I was not in that.
You were not connected with that. No.
Not connected with that.
What a move.
That's where we're at.
All right, so we got off the rails a little bit there.
We did. We got derailed. Okay. We got some injury news.
Yeah.
LeVar Ball comes out and says,
oh, no, I haven't heard what LeVar has to say.
Yeah, he said this is not by any means career ending, and he's going to be back sooner rather than later. And then last night, I swear I heard Stacey say, like, even if we get him back at the end of the season for 5 games, but it was like trying to get the kids to bedtime and like, the game's on, but I'm like watching, I can't really hear. And I'm like, did he just, what?
Yeah, he was saying that. And he did say something about, like whatever LeVar said. So I didn't catch that. So now I know that that's what he was talking about.
Are you and your guy back talking?
Yeah, we're on good terms, but they're
mom's the word.
So I don't know, because there was who was it? Our arch nemesis Joe Cowley over there.
Oh, fucking Joe.
That he thinks he's a real wise guy, real funny.
All the time. It's like he hates Chicago sports too. Like I don't get it.
Understand it, but he came and just if there was any spark still going of hope, he just poured an ice cold bucket on it. Same thing. They've had 5-6 different opinions,
Right.
5-6 doctors
Can't
looking
figure out the root of the pain and
what's going on here. So, but I don't know. I still have hope. I not hope necessarily that he comes back this year. That'd be nice if he came back towards the end of the season. Not necessarily expecting any help, that he would help the team any. That like all of a sudden we would figure things out. But just nice to see for next year, just to see him back out there on the court.
Like, what is going on with Javonte? Like, I haven't heard. It's like he just fell off the face of the earth, and like we get no updates. We get
none. It's the same thing. We're on good terms, but I think he's a big shot in me a little bit here. I don't think I'm getting all the full scoop like I used to. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know. He had. I mean, what was that, a month ago now that he had his surgery?
Yeah.
And there's been not a single update since then, right?
It sets me off that this is your bro, your guy. And like we have a TikTok of him freaking sucking body shots out of interns' stomachs. And do we go out and post that on our page and try to get no, we don't do that.
No, but I'm getting to the point where I might have to start holding that over his head. I might have to start using that.
Yeah. So all right. We don't know. AC left last night, but I think that's just like a day-to-day thing.
Sprained foot, I believe.
Yeah, like we saw the play. Like I think it was when he went up for like that follow-up dunk, and he came down. He kind of grimaced. He got up, shot the free throws, finished out the half.
He did not come out right away. Yeah,
no.
You're right. It wasn't even a big deal at the time. I was more thinking about how sweet of a putback that would have been.
It would have been awesome. Yeah,
right. But yeah, it seems like a day-to-day kind of thing, more of a precautionary.
And I'm trying to keep going. I'm trying to find something I want to talk to you on here.
Speaking about last night, though, it was nice to see Andre Drummond out there.
Yeah, you texted that, and you know who else was saying that was KC.
Yeah,
was like, I'm a big fan of getting Andre Drummond like first half minutes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like the first third of the season, he was getting regular minutes and producing. Like it wasn't like he was out. He was playing his role exactly how you would expect him to. And then all of a sudden he just disappears. And it's not like we're really deep in the front court and can afford to not have him play a whole lot. So it was nice to see him. And not only was he out there, but he showed up when he was out there.
And you know what
11 boards.
And I don't think this is like a trend we're going to see continue. But we know we have the big three, Zach, DeMar, Vooch. But it's like lately our young guy. Last night, Io was leading scorer.
Yeah, he had a great night last night.
P-Will is like really showing up. Kobe is like stepping up. Like, and I'm not going backwards. I'm not taking a step back, but I'm just saying if we make trades, to me, those three are like untouchable.
I agree with you. I had my daughter came down here to visit me.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
he's on the way up. But I agree with you. And I know that we're not discussing trades, but I did see, and I was a little bit, not a little bit, I was a lot against it, but it was like, oh, well, maybe this helps their draft stock. Like, I
hate the, and you and I have always been on the same page. Like, I hate the idea of saying dealing a 21-year-old is a great idea to help us for the future. Like, and
Kobe played so good last night. It was not all from the 3-point line. He was attacking.
He almost had a vicious putback dunk.
He did.
Man. I don't know. It might not have been a putback. It might have been like just a cut down the lane, but he almost had one.
Yeah. He had a really good night. I liked what he did, and so I was upset when I read, this increases or puts one of those teams that's like on the verge of trading for him. It was just nice to see. And like we were texting back and forth like last night, P-Will, Io, Kobe, Lonzo comes back. You have Zach, you still have DeMar next year. There are still reasons to be excited about this roster.
For sure. And I like you and I talk about, like, I'm still cheering this team on. Like, I'm still watching the game, not there last night, be like, lose. let's get in the lottery, lose. Like,
yeah. I don't think that would do any good because I was kind of catching myself doing that. Who did they lose to just the other night where they were in it at the end? Gosh, why can't I'm blanking?
Clippers.
Yes, the Clippers. And for a moment I was like, oh, do we really want to win? And then I was like, we don't want to go down that path.
No, and I think honestly, like we're like 50 games or something into the season. At this point, those bottom feeders that are in, we're not going to catch them anyway, like on the loss side of things. Correct. So we're going to end up at the end of the lot. Is that any better than us being like the 19th or 20th pick and teaching guys how to win games?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even if you were to trade away DeMar, Zach, Vooch, you still wouldn't lose enough games to get into that conversation. So it's
not to get anybody be meaningful to, and I know that it happens all the time. Jimmy Butler, we got him at the end of the first. Like, I get it, but like, you're out of the top 5. You're really like decreasing your odds of getting a guy who's making an immediate impact.
Yes, I agree, and I believe, and I haven't done a whole lot of, research on this year's draft, but I believe that it's like the 2 top guys. And then there's a couple underneath him, and then it's just
okay. Yeah,
exactly. So to your point, if you're not really going to be in those top 2 and you're not guaranteed, you could have 20 more losses than any other team, and you're not guaranteed one of those top 2 spots.
No, and like we talked about last week, we still have yet to see Dalen Terry play.
Yeah,
any type of significant minute.
Yeah.
Another thing we touched on last night, like, and I think it's gotten better. Like, I think our defense honestly has gotten better, but we are so much more of a better defensive cohesive unit with AC out on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing, because I do agree with you. From the beginning of the season, we've progressively gotten better on defense. Doesn't show up every night, doesn't even show up every quarter. But overall, the team has definitely gotten better defensively. But when AC's out there, I mean, it was right after we were texting about it. He makes 2 free throws, and before the ball even hits the ground, he's up on the inbound pass.
Yeah, like in your
pushing the ball, pressuring the ball the whole way down the court. And that's just I wish that like, you could take that, and if Zach could have even half of that defensive desire, you know what I mean?
And it's one of the teams like right in front of us too that we had talked about. Zoom.
All right, yeah, all good. Johnsy's got to go take a little business call. So just real quick, so we have coming up, like we mentioned earlier, we got the Trailblazers tomorrow at home. And then we got the Spurs, and then we got a tough game against the Grizzlies. So part of the reason why we don't really want to have any discussions about any hypothetical changes to the roster is because with or without Lonzo, this team still has the ability to go on a run in the second half where I believe maybe there's 30 games in the second half, where if you go 20-10 in those last 30 games, you're all of a sudden putting yourself in a spot where you might be in contention for the 5th spot or the 6th seed in the East. So,
and I'd like to go on record saying if we avoid that play-in game scenario, there's no way like the Celtics at least are pumped to see us down there.
I would agree with that. I don't think that
really even like
I mean,
and I don't even look at the top too much, but like even really the Nets now with this Kyrie news, like I want to see the Bulls. Atlanta definitely doesn't. The only 2 that like worry me are obviously Milwaukee and Philadelphia for me.
Right. And I have
New York.
Yeah, right. None of those teams would want to match up against the Bulls in the first round. That is a potential disaster for any of those teams. Especially the way that we've played those top teams. Milwaukee doesn't scare me as much as they would have last year.
100%. And like, I know I had to get up for a minute there, but like, I wanted to just say with the defense, I don't want to like linger on this, but it was like there was a point where I swear to freaking fuck, we were letting up like 40 points every first quarter for like 2 straight weeks. I was like,
oh man, yeah, that was rough, dude. It was so deflating to, we get amped up. We get BBs for these Bulls games, man.
Yeah,
we get all amped up. It can be a Tuesday night in December against Charlotte, and we're ready to roll. And then they come out and they give up 40 points.
And it's like we score like 29. Like we're doing all right offensively.
Exactly,
but
we're still down double digits. Yeah.
So
that's nice. And I actually think we played pretty well in the first quarter now.
Yeah, we do. We honestly do. Like
I don't know. I don't have.
Was it LA? Like the other night, like we let up like 19 points in the first quarter or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was LA because I had class that night. And I got home at the very
it was. Yeah, they started off great in that first quarter that night. But I don't have anything to back it up. But I would feel pretty confident to say that out of their last like 15 games, they've been leading at the end of the first quarter in like 11 of those.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right in that statement. So to me, as always, like I'm not going backwards. This is the team. We're the Meat Bulls. We root for the squad. We got a game tomorrow night. We're gonna win it.
Yep. Oh, you betcha. That's what I was saying while you were away there for a sec. We win tomorrow night.
Yep.
We win Monday night.
San Antonio.
Monday night San Antonio. And then Memphis, so you never know. But we could be a game under 500, which I know Indiana lost last night, so we're
technically ahead of them.
So,
Memphis, Brooklyn, Cleveland, that's a stretch. But then we have Orlando and Indiana. We have a Washington, we have Toronto, Phoenix, Detroit, Houston. Like we have winnable games.
And that's why we just got to ride this thing out and see where we end up.
See where we're at.
Yep, exactly.
Do you have any dish of the week?
No, you know what? I was scrounging looking for one actually earlier today, and I couldn't find any worthy. I'll tell you that Io had a couple of nice ones last night that didn't end up getting converted, but he had one, little baseline drive, no look, dish it off to Drummond, who got fouled on the dunk, but it was a nice little no looker.
And I have one, and you kind of touched a little bit, but it was one thing I wanted to talk about. This is, I know we're kind of running short on time. Is I feel like they've been like cutting to the basket more lately, like making aggressive cuts that they didn't used to do.
Yeah.
But last night, second quarter, Vooch, AC cut to the basket, and Vooch delivered like a perfect bounce pass for a nice little reverse layup, and it was just like a thing of beauty. Yeah. And the other night, Io to a cutting Vooch down the lane was a nice dunk.
Yeah, I like when you see Vooch cutting because
dude.
I think some of these defenders expect him to just hang out there on the 3-point line at the top of the key, and
they have to respect it, so they're up on him, and it's like,
yes, exactly. He takes that step, and he's had a couple nice ones over the last few weeks. But I agree, like the team as a whole is definitely attacking the hoop more, so which is nice to see.
Yeah, so I agree. That was just what I had. Mm-hmm. Anything else moving forward that we didn't touch on?
No, I don't think so. DeMar, congrats.
Yep.
All-star selection. So
did you ever find out if we're going to that?
I did find out, and it's the +1 is each other.
Oh, okay.
+1 is each other.
Well, that might be dangerous.
I thought, well, that's good news, bad news, because look out, but also look out. So
look out, because you got I'm not going to get into this, but you got a guy out in Salt Lake that.
Okay. You know.
Yeah, I know.
So let's just say the missus is not too excited about it. We'll have that.
Hey, All-Star Weekend, baby.
That's right.
I believe the saying is what happens in Salt Lake stays in Salt Lake. Is that the phrase?
Yeah. Just don't order any pizza.
Yeah. Oh,
Just don't order any pizza. Which
That
actually today is Jordan Day.
Jordan Day, yeah.
323. So
I
little shout out.
so I saw that, like, I don't know if it's Fox Sports or like CSN. One of them was like doing Jordan stuff, like highlights all day, and I saw it like on Twitter. And this is this morning, and I'm out, giving Knox breakfast. I'm talking to him. I'm like, oh, dude, it's Michael Jordan's birthday. Like, that's what I thought it was. He's like, his birthday's February 17th. He told me that this morning. I'm like, is that right? So then I asked my watch. He's like,
for calling you out.
Yeah, he called like that. I couldn't believe it. And then he's like, ask your watch. And I did it, and he was right. I'm like, what is this? And then Cody Purcell said, it's Jordan Day. And then I got it. And I was like, okay.
When I first saw, because like ESPN was doing something for 2/3/23, and I'm like, oh, I guess I knew his birthday was in February, but I didn't know
thought it was. Like,
and then it clicked later on when I saw
that's some like Jordan weirdo who's like, oh no, February. Like,
yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I see that in February. Yeah, like. All right, well, Trev and I got to run. This has been fun.
As
Fans,
always,
thanks for tuning in. As always. That's
That's